So, for today's session, I am, in fact, wearing headphones. Something I don't particularly like to do, but some small technical issues. This is just to ensure the experience is as good as possible. I do hope you do not mind. I would like you to take a moment to focus on this finger just here. Just like that. And now, I would like you to take a moment to focus on this finger just here. Sometimes we need to just take a moment. This felt as an appropriate session to do today with the previous technical difficulties, as I mentioned earlier. Sometimes you just need to stop and breathe and recalibrate yourself so you can return with a clear mind. Focus at the task at hand and properly analyze it. It's very easy to become a little bit frustrated at something. Especially when you're working to a time limit, as many of us do. But sometimes those few moments extra to just breathe makes all the difference. And that is what we shall do today. So, if you would please inhale through your nose. Give yourself just a little moment to hold that breath before you exhale it through your mouth. It's those little moments that allow us to reground ourselves and just be present in the moment. Just going to roll my shoulders a little bit, just loosen them. take a little moment and do something that's referred to as tension and release. You may know this as a different name, I do not know, but this can be any muscle in your body, but for the example we shall use our hand. So you take your hand, place it into a fist, and just squeeze. Just feel the tension around your hand. And just hold that for a moment. Now, I want you to feel all the muscles you have engaged was clenching your fist. Because more often than not, just clenching your fist engages your forearm as well, and perhaps even your shoulder. So, what you shall do is keep the fist clenched and release your forearm. It creates quite a surreal sensation because we are used to tensing a lot more muscles than we think we are. And you release the forearm, release the bicep, release the shoulder, and just having the tension isolated to the hand. And then you release the hand. And just in doing this, despite the fact I told my brain to just tense my hand, I can feel it most just in there, in the bicep. It's very interesting how this all works. This can be highly effective at relieving jaw tension, because if we tense the jaw, we actually tense the neck and the shoulders, and that causes other issues. This is something that's very good to play around with when you take a moment, when you need to breathe for a moment. You can just isolate those muscles down. The tension of the hand, you could begin by releasing the shoulder, then the bicep, then the forearm, and then the hand. You get an unusual sense of relief from it, and it can help prevent unnecessary tension. I said the jaw and the neck is how I learnt this technique, and it is quite fascinating how you can remove bits of tension that you're not actually aware that you are feeling. So, please, in this moment that we have here, feel free to experiment with this. do the same with feet, all the way up your legs, and focus in at the shoulder. It doesn't really matter where your starting point may be, but it's fascinating to become aware of how much everything can tense up from just one tiny little thing. And you take a moment to just hold that tension and release it. Gives a positive sense of relief. Even just thinking about the concept, because I have done it many times, I can feel my jaw just hang a little bit looser. Sometimes it's important just to take that little moment. And perhaps you can use this session as an excuse to take your own little moment. I have this tendency to cross my fingers and place my thumb into my palm. Apply that little bit of pressure. I don't know why I do this. There may be an acupuncture sort of technique behind it. I do not know, but I suppose it would be considered a grounding technique. Something that does allow you to be present in that moment. And it does have a massaging thing to it, especially if you work with your hands a lot. Just placing that focus into the movement of the thumb on the palm of the hand. I suppose it could align with your breathing as well. Suppose the interlocking fingers gives a good bit of pressure to apply across the palm, just like that. On those inhales, allowing your stomach to expand, your lungs to fill downwards as well as out. For a deep breath shouldn't involve raised shoulders. Raised shoulders is just more tension. Suppose today's session is a little bit different from other sessions, but I felt as I was taking a little moment, I would bring you to along for this experience, and I could just perhaps give you some pointers for things you may find of use. We will continue this moment for just a little bit more. Give you a chance to perhaps take control of your breath, or perhaps experiment a little bit with the tension and release. It can be very effective in diagnosing quite where you're feeling excessive tension. Or perhaps you wish to interlock your fingers as I do. Use your thumb. Pressure across the palm. today's session, and I do hope you will take care. And I do hope you remember to take a little moment when you need it. But tomorrow is a new day. I hope to see you sometime soon. Cheers.